Over 70% of engines lose up to 30% of their power before even hitting 100,000 miles. And most drivers have no clue it's happening. Every drive, microscopic carbon buildup, sluggish sensors, and skipped maintenance quietly steal your engine strength, turning smooth performance into sluggish response and rising fuel costs. But here's the twist. You don't need a rebuild or a fortune to fix it. In this video, I'll show you 15 easy and proven steps that'll make your engine run like new again. Smoother, stronger, and more efficient. And trust me, the final tip is the one mechanics rarely talk about. The secret that makes even worn engines sound factory fresh. Tip 15. Maintain your mass airflow, MF, sensor regularly. Your mass airflow sensor acts as the engine's key airflow meter, precisely measuring incoming air volume so the computer can mix in the exact fuel needed for optimal combustion. A well-maintained MAF keeps everything running efficiently, steady idle, responsive acceleration, and better miles per gallon. But contaminants like dirt, oil mist, and fine particles gradually accumulate on its delicate components, leading to inaccurate signals. This triggers issues such as unstable idling, delayed throttle response, dropping efficiency, higher emissions, and potentially a check engine warning. Revive it easily. Start by finding the MAF, typically between the air filter box and intake tube, then disconnect its electrical plug. Gently extract the unit, handling it with care since it's precision-built and costly to replace. Apply only dedicated MAF cleaner aerosol. Avoid harsh alternatives like brake parts cleaner or air blasts that could harm it. Direct short bursts at the sensing elements without wiping or brushing. Allow full air drying, about 15 to 20 minutes, before reinstalling and reconnecting. Aim to do this whenever you service the air filter, or every 12,000, 15,000 miles, especially in dusty environments. This quick task often brings back noticeable pep, smoother operation, and restored economy in minutes. Tip 14. Swap out or upgrade your engine air filter. The engine air filter serves as the first line of defense for your power plant, pulling in huge volumes of air while trapping road dust, pollen, insects, and other airborne threats that could score cylinders or damage internals. With unrestricted flow from a fresh filter, combustion stays efficient, delivering strong torque, quick response, and solid fuel savings. A restricted one starves the engine, causing hesitation on takeoff, uneven running, wasted fuel, and that strained whine under load as it fights for oxygen. Fortunately, this is among the simplest and cheapest power restorers. Basic paper replacements run $15 to $35 and install in seconds, while premium washable options like K&N cost $50 to $80 upfront, but pay off over time through reuse after proper servicing. Access the housing, often just clips or a few fasteners by the intake duct. Lift out the old element, clean out any debris from the box, and seat the new filter correctly for a tight seal. No special equipment needed. Plan on inspecting it regularly and replacing every 12,000, 15,000 miles under normal use or sooner in off-road or high-dust areas. You'll feel immediate improvements in breathing ease, livelier performance, and overall engine vitality. Tip 13. Treat your fuel system with injector cleaner. Fuel injectors are high-precision nozzles that atomize gasoline into a fine mist for even mixing and complete burning. Over miles, tiny varnish layers and carbon residues form on their tips and internals, disrupting spray patterns and causing imbalanced delivery across cylinders. Symptoms include shaky idle, stumbling during acceleration, lost horsepower, increased thirst at the pump, and occasional misfires. You can often resolve mild cases at home with quality pour-in treatments from brands like Chevron Techron, Lucas, or Seafoam, typically $10 to $25 a bottle. Add it to a near-empty tank, then fill up completely and drive normally as the formula circulates, dissolving gunk from injectors, valves, and chamber walls. For preventive care, apply one every 3,000 to 5,000 miles to maintain crisp running. If deposits are heavy, opt for shop-based on-site cleaning. A machine connects directly to the fuel rail, pumping strong solvent under pressure to break down stubborn material and revive uniform flow. Expect to pay more, but results can transform a sluggish motor. Either way, this routine helps reclaim responsiveness, efficiency, and that eager feel from newer days. Tip 12. Service the throttle body for better control. The throttle body regulates incoming air based on pedal input, directly influencing how the engine responds. Carbon soot and oily residue naturally collect on the butterfly valve and bore walls, creating stickiness that limits movement and disrupts airflow metering. Left unchecked, it leads to erratic idle speeds, delayed tip-in, reduced economy, and overall dull driving. Cleaning it yourself is straightforward and rewarding. Grab a can of dedicated throttle body solvent, around $10, and basic hand tools. With the engine cold and battery disconnected for safety, remove the intake duct to expose the assembly. Visually check for dark buildup, then spray liberally while working the plate open by hand. Use a soft rag or brush to wipe away loosened material from all surfaces, ensuring thorough coverage on both sides. Dry fully, reassemble, and reconnect power. The computer may need a few drive cycles to relearn idle. If the plate binds persistently or shows damage like warping, replacement becomes necessary. Schedule this every 30,000, 50,000 miles or at the first sign of issues. The payoff? Effortless plate motion, instant pedal feedback, rock-steady idle, and a revitalized sense of control. Tip 11. Address internal carbon deposits proactively. Carbon residue inevitably forms on intake valves, piston tops, and chamber surfaces from repeated combustion cycles, even in well-cared-for engines. Moderate levels are normal, but excess restricts flow, raises compression unevenly, and promotes detonation. Warning signs: pinging under load, vibration, power dips, inefficiency, or illuminated warnings. Combat it two ways. For lighter accumulation, use in-tank additives like seafoam or similar products, $15 to $30, that gradually loosen deposits during regular driving. Follow label directions for intake or fuel introduction. For direct injection motors prone to valve coking, professional walnut shell blasting is gold standard. Technicians remove the intake manifold and gently abrade away hardened layers with compressed biodegradable media, restoring like-new surfaces without harm. Costs typically range $300 to $800 depending on model and labor. Perform preventive treatments every 30,000, 50,000 miles, or sooner if performance fades. The result is freer breathing, quieter operation, reclaimed torque, and protection against long-term wear. Tip 10. Choose high-quality fuel consistently. Many assume premium gasoline alone unlocks hidden power, but higher octane primarily resists pre-ignition in forced induction, or high-compression designs. It won't add output in engines spec'd for regular. The bigger factor is overall fuel grade. Budget options often lack robust detergent packages, allowing faster residue formation that gums injectors, coats valves, and robs efficiency over time. Prioritize top-tier retailers. Look for the logo. Their fuels include elevated additive levels proven to keep systems cleaner, reducing deposits, and maintaining designed performance long-term. Pair with occasional strong treatments like Techron for deeper flushing every few thousand miles. If your owner's manual requires premium, stick to it for knock prevention and component longevity. Clean-burning fuel means consistent strength, refined manners, and sustained economy, just like when the car was fresh. If these straightforward habits are resonating, you're clearly invested in long-term engine health. Keep applying them for reliable, enjoyable driving ahead. Tip 9. Service your spark plugs and ignition components regularly. Spark plugs might be tiny, but they handle one of the toughest tasks in your engine, generating the high-voltage spark that ignites the compressed air-fuel mixture thousands of times per minute. They endure extreme temperatures, pressure, and electrical stress with every drive. As mileage builds, electrode erosion widens the gap. Insulators crack, and the spark grows weaker or inconsistent. You'll notice the decline through shaky idle, occasional misfires, hesitation during acceleration, reduced mileage, harder cold starts, and in bad cases, catalyst damage from unburned fuel. Stay ahead by following your vehicle's specified interval. typically 30,000 to 100,000 miles, based on whether you have copper, platinum, or iridium plugs. Always install the exact type and heat range listed in your manual. Off-spec plugs can lead to detonation, fouling, or poor running. While you're in there, examine ignition coils for hairline cracks in the casing, burnt terminals, or oil seepage, and inspect plug wires, if equipped, for brittleness or resistance issues. New plugs and solid ignition parts deliver crisp combustion, quicker throttle response, easier starting, and noticeably better efficiency. This classic tune-up often feels like unlocking hidden horsepower that's been missing for years. Tip 8. Inspect and service the PCV valve. The positive crankcase ventilation, PCV valve, is a low-key hero that controls blow-by gases, relieves pressure, and prevents oil contamination by routing vapors back for reburning. It's inexpensive and simple, yet when it sticks or clogs from sludge and varnish, problems stack up quickly. Excessive oil consumption, smoky exhaust on acceleration, unstable idle, gasket leaks from pressure buildup, and that telltale oily residue around seals. Diagnosis is easy. Locate it on the valve cover or a vacuum hose leading to the intake. Pull it out, engine off, and shake gently. A clear rattle means it's free-moving and likely functional. No sound usually signals blockage. Clean thoroughly with carburetor or brake cleaner, blowing through both directions until flow restores, then dry fully before reinstalling. If cleaning fails or the valve body is damaged, replacements run 10 to 30 and swap in minutes. No special tools required. Plan to check it every 20,000, 40,000 miles or during oil changes. A functioning PCV restores balanced pressure, cuts oil burn, stabilizes idle, and keeps the engine bay cleaner longer. Tip 7. Stick to timely oil changes. Clean engine oil is absolutely essential. It's what minimizes wear between metal surfaces, dissipates heat, neutralizes acids, and suspends contaminants. Over time, it oxidizes, thickens with soot and debris, and loses its protective additives, turning from guardian to threat. Signs of overdue oil include louder lifter tick, slower cranking, reduced power, darker exhaust, overheating tendencies, and accelerated internal damage to bearings, camshafts, and cylinder walls. Most modern vehicles thrive on changes every 5,000, 10,000 miles with full synthetic oil. But check your manual. Severe duty, towing, short trips, dusty roads, calls for shorter intervals. Always pair with a quality filter and use the exact viscosity and specification, like 0W20 or 5W30 API SNSP. A proper service costs little compared to the thousands of seized or worn-out engine demands. Consistent changes keep internals spotless, quiet, and responsive, preserving peak compression and efficiency for hundreds of thousands of miles. Tip 6. Maintain the cooling system diligently. Overheating remains one of the fastest ways to destroy an engine, warping heads, blowing gaskets, or cracking blocks. Your radiator, water pump, thermostat, hoses, and coolant work together to maintain ideal operating temperature under all conditions. Coolant degrades over years, becoming acidic and losing corrosion inhibitors, while hoses soften, clamps loosen, and radiators clog internally. Prevent disaster by flushing the system and refilling with fresh coolant every 30,000, 60,000 miles or per manufacturer's schedule. Many extended life formulas go longer, but verify. Regularly top off the reservoir, scan hoses for swelling, cracks, or mushy spots, and test the radiator cap's pressure seal. A failing thermostat can also cause poor warm-up or overheating. A coolant refresh and hose inspection take minimal time and cost $20, $50 in parts, yet they safeguard against catastrophic failure. A healthy cooling setup means steady temperatures, efficient combustion, and confidence on long drives or in traffic. Tip 5. Replace a faulty fuel filler cap promptly. Your gas cap does more than just close the tank. It maintains evaporative system pressure, prevents vapor escape, and blocks contamination. A cracked seal, missing O-ring, or loose fit disrupts vacuum, triggers evap codes, wastes fuel through evaporation, and can cause refueling issues or slight performance dips. Many mystery check engine lights trace back to this 10 to 25 part. Inspect it during every fill-up, ensure it clicks multiple times when tightening, and look for damaged threads, hardened rubber, or corrosion. Swap to an OEM or exact match replacement for proper venting and sealing. This tiny upgrade often clears persistent lights, restores slight mileage loss, eliminates fuel odor, and keeps the system compliant without expensive diagnostics. Tip 4. Renew aging wearable components. Even durable engines rely on dozens of shorter life parts that gradually rob smoothness and output. Ignoring them leads to cumulative power loss, vibration, inefficiency, and eventual breakdowns. Prioritize classics, spark plugs and coils for clean ignition, timing belts, chains on schedule to avoid catastrophic failure, cracked vacuum or intake hoses that cause lean running, and tired motor mounts that transmit harshness. Worn plugs alone can sap substantial torque. Battery health affects starting and electrical stability, while fresh fluids and filters support overall efficiency. For minor external oil seepage from aging gaskets, quality seal conditioners, like specialized reconditioning additives, can swell and soften rubber, halting drips without disassembly. Add during an oil change and monitor. Targeted replacements cost little individually, but deliver dramatic revival, quicker response, quieter operation, and that tight, energetic feel of a well-kept motor. Tip 3. Clean and care for the fuel cap gasket. That humble rubber gasket on your gas cap is the primary barrier keeping the evaporative emission system pressurized and contaminant-free. Dirt buildup, drying or cracking lets air in and vapors out, confusing sensors, dropping efficiency, and often illuminating the dash with EVP-related codes. Maintenance is effortless. Unscrew the cap, wipe the seal and tank neck with a soft cloth, avoid solvents that degrade rubber, and check for tears or flattening. If compromised, replace the entire cap with a factory spec unit for reliable venting. Always secure it fully. Listen for the multiple clicks. This overlooked habit preserves fuel economy, prevents erratic idle from minor vacuum shifts, and avoids unnecessary shop visits. Tip 2. Stop minor oil leaks early. Small oil spots on the driveway signal shrinking levels that risk inadequate lubrication, accelerated wear, and potential overheating. Most begin at heat-cycled seals around valve covers, oil pans, or crankshaft ends that harden and shrink over time. Catch them early. Trace fresh oil trails under the hood and beneath the car. For slow weeps without major gasket failure, premium oil stop-leak treatments, quality formulas designed for seal rejuvenation, can restore pliability and halt seepage. Add to warm oil, drive normally to circulate, and recheck levels and spots over the following week. These products run $15–40 and often spare you labor-intensive repairs costing hundreds. Combined with regular level checks, they keep everything properly lubricated and the underside clean. Tip 1. Secure and inspect all engine hoses. Loose or deteriorating hoses are silent threats. Coolant, fuel, vacuum, and power steering lines all rely on tight connections. Vibration and thermal cycling loosen clamps, while rubber ages, leading to leaks, air ingress, overheating, rich lean conditions, or sudden loss of assist. With the engine cold, visually trace major hoses. Squeeze gently for firmness, no mushy sections. Look for wet spots, chafing, or bulging near ends. Retighten worm gear or spring clamps carefully, snug but not crushing the hose. Replace any cracked or swollen sections immediately. Most are inexpensive and quick to swap. Proactive tightening and replacement prevent roadside emergencies, maintain proper fluid pressures, and protect your engine from secondary damage. There you have it. Straightforward, budget-friendly steps that can dramatically refresh your engine's performance and reliability. Apply these habits consistently, and you'll enjoy smoother, stronger, more efficient driving for years to come. If these tips helped, show some love with a like and subscribe. Your support keeps more practical advice coming.